online IELTS coach. Okay, let's see. We are doing reading section 3, which is the toughest one, and the questions which we are going to do right now, that is multiple choice. So let's take a start. The question type is multiple choice. Choose the correct letter A, B, C or D. Write the correct letter in boxes 34 to 7. Now look at this first option, 34. The ONS survey was done. Now the clue word is ONS. ONS capital, you can easily find it. The ONS survey was done to find out. Now you got to see what was the purpose of ONS survey, to find out what? What did they want to find through ONS survey? Don't read the options right now. First you need to go to the passage and see where the relevant information is. Once you read the relevant information, then you need to see on your own. I mean, whenever there is multiple choice questions, just imagine there is no multiple choice. There is no option, or there are no options, right? Once you decide there are no options, on your own you need to find out first what is the what was the finding of ONS survey. Once you read it in the passage, now you come to the options and you will find which one is the right one. Now I'm going to see where it is. Yes, I found it in the first paragraph. Please follow me. Let's read together. A 2001 survey on who participated in volunteering by the Office for National Statistics, Office for National Statistics ONS, and the survey in 2001 on who participated in volunteering in the United Kingdom revealed. Now please be careful. The word revealed means the finding. What did they find? Revealed that people in higher income households are more likely than others to volunteer. People who are earning more money, they are more likely to do the volunteer work. That is the finding of the survey. Now let's go back to the list of options. A, why people undertook volunteering? Nah. B, how many people participated in volunteering? Nah. C, how many rich people did volunteer work? Now they did not mention. Now this is confusing. Now here the trickery of examiner to confuse you between C and D is very clear. How many rich people did volunteer work? They don't tell us in the passage how many rich people. D, which people were involved in volunteering? Which people means rich or poor, that's what they said. So option D is going to be the right answer for question number 34. Okay, all right, let's go ahead. Question number 35. The ONS survey found that people with university qualifications were, clue word is university, qualification, education, degree, these type of word. The ONS survey found out that people with university qualifications were. Now don't read the options. If you read the options, you are wasting your time. Read the options first, you read the passage and then you can come to that. Now let's see where they talk about university qualifications and all that. Okay, I found it. I show it to you. Among people with a degree, I told you the word degree or postgraduate qualification, percent, 79%. Now 79% you got to keep in mind. There they can use the word majority, right? Because 79 is majority. Among people with a degree or postgraduate qualification, 79% had volunteered informally and 57% had volunteered formally. So with the university degree, more people are doing that. So there are two categories. One is formally and one is informally. And informally there are 79% and formally there are 57%. Let's go back. Okay, now please let's go through the list of headings. A, the ONS survey found that people with university qualifications were A, as likely to volunteer as those with no qualifications? No. For the time being, let's not read B. C, less likely to volunteer than those with no qualification? No. D, the only group likely to do formal volunteer work. Now see, formal volunteer work. No, because we had informal as well. B, more likely to volunteer than those with no qualifications. See that? How do you find it out that D is the right answer? There they are mentioning among people with a degree of postgraduate qualification, 79% had volunteered informally and 57% had volunteered formally in the previous 12 months. And for people with no qualification, the corresponding proportions were 52% and 23%. So means people who are qualified, they are doing more volunteer work. That is why option B is going to be the right answer, more likely to volunteer than those with no qualifications. Clear? Okay, well done. It's tricky, okay, but if you can just do it again. 36. It is suggested that rich people volunteer as a result of having. Now, it's understood that rich people volunteer, but you got to see, why do rich people volunteer? What do they have that as a result of that they actually volunteer? So it is suggested that rich people volunteer as a result of having what? There are 4 options, but we will not read the options. We're going to see rich people volunteer. So let's see rich people volunteer. Okay, I found it. I show it to you. Does the answer not lie perhaps in the fact that the rich tend to have money to allow them the time to become involved in volunteer work? Right, that's what they say. Does the answer not lie perhaps, they're giving the reason, in the fact that the rich people tend to have money to allow them the time to become involved in volunteer work compared to less well-off people? Means less well-off people are the poor people and the rich people have time and money to do the volunteer work. Now let's see. It is suggested that rich people volunteer as a result of having. What do they have that they do the volunteer? And they mention it very clearly. It's written here, have money to allow them the time to become, money and time. Now let's see what have they mentioned here. Clearer goals. No. Fewer children. No. These type of silly answers or silly options are the wrong answers. D, I ignored C for the time. Greater guilt. No. C, more spare time. Now there are 2 things, one is money and one is time. So they have mentioned time over here. If it was money, even that could be the right answer as well. That is why for question number 36, option C, more spare time, is going to be the right answer. Let's go ahead. Question number 37. Volunteer work benefits people by teaching them how to. Volunteer work benefits people by teaching them how to. Now the benefits of volunteer work, and if you remember, we saw somewhere the benefits of volunteer work. So if you would have underlined volunteer work or the benefits, actually you can directly go there and find the answer. Now the question is, volunteer work benefits people by teaching them how to. What do they teach them? How to what? Yeah, that's what we're going to find. Let's see. Here it says, I'm reading this paragraph from 3rd line. Voluntary work helps foster independence and imparts the ability to deal with different situations, often simultaneously, thus teaching people how to work their way through different systems. What do they teach? How to work their way through different systems. Different systems. Okay, volunteer work teaches people how to work their way through different systems. Now let's see. 37. Yeah. Option A, I ignore it for a moment. B, communicate clearly. No. C, deal with failure. No. D, overcome shyness. No. A, function in systems. See that? Systems, they use the word systems. So for 37, A is going to be the right answer. It's sometimes very tricky, although I guided you very well, but still it can be confusing. All you need to do, you need to do it again and again and again. And when you are practicing, practice it by question type so that you know this is your weak question type area and you can give it more time and more practice. Well, if you like this video, please hit on the like button.